Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to the third episode of Knit and Chat. So, first the project. You remember how last time I was like,
hopefully I'll be done with this project the next time you see me because it needs to be done ASAP.
It was not done. In fact, it's been like 3 weeks since then. If you have not seen the first 2 episodes, I'll briefly explain this project. It is a baby blanket for my niece, and she has been born at this point. So I really need to get a move on because she is just out here living in this world without a blanket from me. And that's just unacceptable. So, I need to actually finish this so that she can have it. But anyway, if you hear random crinkle noises, it's because my baby has been playing with her wipes and she's happy, so I'm not going to stop her. She has been teething and it's been a little bit rough because she's been pretty sad, and normally she's a really happy baby, and I don't know, it's interesting because I feel really bad for her. Like I know she's in pain, but then I feel bad because I want like a break from her sometimes, and I get annoyed with how much she's crying and stuff. But then I feel horrible because it's like the only reason she's upset right now is because she's in pain. So like that's not something she can control. That's, you know, she's just doing her best. And I don't know, it's an interesting part of being a mom. And like I think that probably a lot of people have experienced this or can relate to this, where sometimes you really feel like you need a break, but then you feel so guilty for taking a break or for even wanting to have a break, because you know that your baby relies on you and is so attached to you and loves you so much. And especially when they're like teething and stuff, it's like they're just in pain, and that's the only reason why they're being fussy or upset, you know. So I don't know, that's just something that I've been thinking about a lot, and I don't know if any other moms out there can relate to this, but if you can, you know, we're all in this together, and it's okay to want to have a break from your baby, and it doesn't mean that you love them any less if you do want a break. And if taking a break makes you a better mom, then take a break, you know? And sometimes that's necessary. But luckily, she's pretty happy right now, which is good. I got some teething tablets for her and stuff, and those have been helping her feel better. Anyway, just been thinking about that. The other thing I've been thinking about, which has absolutely nothing to do with being a mom or mom guilt or any of that at all, is this interesting dynamic that I've seen with influencers. And I'm not going to name names because I feel like that would be rude. But there's like a lot of examples of this. But what I've seen is like there's a person who becomes successful really quickly on YouTube. And like 2 million, 4 million subscribers successful. So obviously they're making a good chunk of change from that. And then they suddenly just stop making videos completely and don't give any explanation for why, or they'll only make videos like once every 6 months, and it's only when they have sponsorship. And I'm not saying that any of this is wrong, by the way, it's just interesting to me, because the question that I find really interesting about it is, at what point is it unfair for an influencer or for a content creator to stop creating content and still be making money, enough money to support their lifestyle that they got from creating content? And I think that this is interesting because I think there's a lot of layers to it, right? Like the first layer is that, you know, those content creators created the content that got them successful. So obviously they deserve to be paid for their work because they're the ones who did the work and made it, right? And then there's another level where I don't think that audiences deserve an explanation or more videos or anything, or for people to explain personal things about their lives just because they create content. And that's something that I've seen a lot, and I think it's worse on other platforms, particularly TikTok, which I actually don't have, but I've heard a lot of people talk about how on TikTok, people can be really, really aggressive about like, oh, we deserve to know what happened in this situation, or we deserve to know this or that. And I don't think that it's fair for an audience member to say that they deserve something from an influencer. But then there's this other level where the influencer made all of their money from content creation, and they can support their lifestyle, which is most of the time in these particular situations a pretty lavish lifestyle, right? Like, they've made a lot of money from their stuff. The only reason that they have that money is because they had an audience that supported them. So at what point does it become an unfair exchange of goods and services for payment? But then there's like another level, which is that it doesn't cost anything to like a video or to comment on a video or to subscribe to somebody. That doesn't cost us money as viewers of other people's videos, but oftentimes with audiences that big, that comes with big brand deals and sponsorships, and people will use your affiliate links, or if you have a collaboration with a brand on something, then people will buy that merchandise. Or if you have merch, like people will buy it. So then at that point, the audience is giving money, is actually paying you for something. So I've just been thinking about that because I just think it's really interesting, and I don't know that there's like one right answer to like what solves the situation, and I don't think that it's fair to demand that people will forever keep creating content, or to say that they shouldn't stop making money on old content, because they did make that, and a lot of times videos take a lot of time and a lot of energy. And sometimes they cost money to create, depending on what the video is, And I don't really know what my personal opinion is on it, to be honest. Like, I don't know what the answer is, because I do think it's wrong to say, hey, you have to tell me something about your personal life just because you've shared some of it. I don't think that that's right, but I also don't know if it's right for a content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call them, to completely stop making content and not give any explanation or any reason why, So anyway, that's just something that I've thought about a lot, and I've watched a few videos about it, and watched some people's other like video essays about it, and they're a lot more eloquent than I am and put a lot more time and research into their arguments and things, but I don't know. I just think that that's a very interesting byproduct of this type of industry, I guess you could say, and like the world that we live in now, especially after COVID, where people have started creating content a lot more and consuming a lot more of this type of content. I think that that's just an interesting question to have, because it's like, I don't know if any one person is in the right or in the wrong, and I don't know if there's a way to like fix that problem. It is possible to get burnt out in something like YouTube, because most of the time for most people it's a creative thing, and it's really possible to get burnt out creatively. I mean, that's totally a thing. I've gotten burnt out creatively a lot of times. And I'm sure that I will continue to get burnt out creatively, because that's just sometimes your brain just needs a break from something, So I don't think that it's their fault for wanting a break or wanting to not make content anymore, especially when it's like really, really time consuming. But I also wonder if, as an audience of these people, if we have a responsibility to be, well, I think we do. I think we do have a responsibility to be kind and understanding. As human beings, I think we have that responsibility. And I think that that's something that has gotten really, really nasty and cruel, is comment sections and the attitudes that people have towards their favorite influencers, because they'll get really gross and just rude, you know? And I kind of wonder, at what point in our society did that become okay? You know, at what point did it become okay to leave such an aggressive hate comment? You know, would you go up to somebody and say that in person? I hope not. I mean, I hope that you wouldn't say it on comment, but I hope you wouldn't say it in person either, because it's like... But I wonder, at what point in our society did we decide, hey, it's actually okay for us to treat people really, really badly as long as we're doing it through screens? As long as we're texting it or making a video about it, it's totally okay for us to treat people so badly. Because I mean, I haven't gotten like a ton of hate comments, luckily. And I'm sure that as my channel grows and as more people come, there will be hate comments, just because that's what happens. But you know, like, I've had people tell me, more so on Instagram because I have more of an audience there, I've had people tell me like, oh, your nose is too big and that makes you ugly. Or like, oh, that, like, this was such a stupid idea, like, you shouldn't have done it, you're an idiot. Stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, why do you feel the need to tell me that? Like, if you don't like somebody's content, there's really no reason for you to tell them that. You know, and I think if it's something like you have constructive feedback, like, say if I had background music in a video and the background music was too loud and you couldn't hear me talking, then that would be a normal constructive comment to be like, oh, hey, by the way, I couldn't hear you talking very well because your background music was too loud. That might be something you want to fix in your next video. Like, that's not rude. That's just saying like, oh, hey, by the way, you know? So, I don't know. That's kind of a tangent that I just went on, but that's kind of also the point of these knit chats, is to just talk about nothing and everything. So, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. I don't really think I have like any authority to talk about it. But I just think as human beings, we've really gotten to a point on the internet where anything goes and you can say whatever mean thing you want to say to somebody. And I just wish that that wasn't the case, but I also really don't know if there's a way to solve that problem. Like, genuinely. Because you can report comments and block people, obviously. But, you know, even if I report and block somebody who said something mean to me, I still saw the comment, you know? So it's like, I don't really know if there's a way to fix that, but I would like to know what your thoughts are on this issue. What do you think is a healthy relationship between a content creator and their audience? Because I just think that that's really an interesting dynamic. And that's just something that I thought of last night because I had seen a video of somebody who kind of had done something like that, and I was just like, that is interesting. I have seen people do like they'll answer what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, what I'm reading. So that may be fun. And you can tell me your answers to these questions in the comments. So, I have been watching The Office recently with my husband. We are in season 5, I think. So we're getting through it for sure. And I'm really enjoying it. I had never seen The Office all the way through before, and I didn't really understand the hype, but now I get it. And I think it's really funny, and that we've been enjoying it. So that's what we've been watching. Also rewatching Parks and Rec, but that's kind of just an ongoing thing that's probably always happening in my life, so you can kind of just count on that. What I've been listening to a lot of 70s music. I like 70s music a lot. I really enjoy like Simon and Garfunkel, kind of the more like folk-y 70s music, and I also like more modern folk. Folk is a weird word. Like, I like the Abbott Brothers a lot. So that's what I've been listening to. What I've been reading, I just finished Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher yesterday. And I enjoyed that one. and I am reading Pride and Prejudice. I've been listening to the audiobook. Really? I've been listening to the audiobook of that one, and I just started A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. I didn't mean to read 2 T. Kingfishers back to back, but that's just how my holds came off at the library. So, yeah. You tell me your answers to those questions in the comments. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? And I'll see you in the next one, and wish me luck that I finally finished this blanket. So, yeah. Bye!